Hey guys, Carl here, Cultivate with Carl, and it's time to take a look at the Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprout bed is in kicking. It was the Brussels sprout and cauliflower bed. However, the frost killed off, or I harvested the rest of the cauliflower, and now we have cauliflower, a couple broccolis growing up. But what we were really here to talk about today is my Brussels sprouts. And of the 4 that were planted, I have 3 left because one of them got a fungus, got a mold, and I put up a picture on my Instagram, and a lot of people had a lot of opinions that it was some kind of a fungus or some kind of bugs, but I did my research and it turned out to be white mold. So white mold, and I'm going to go ahead and overlay a picture. White mold looks like this, and as you can see from the pictures, the both at the bottom of the stalk and at the top of the stalk, I got these bulbous, white, furry growths. And as it caught up to one of the Brussels sprouts, it took over and eventually just consumed it, killed it, and then moved on to the next one. So what I did was I went ahead and preemptively cut that plant out, and the Brussels sprouts that were not affected, I took them off the plant and washed them really good. I put them on the countertop just to make sure that they weren't going to grow the same mold. And now they're sitting in the refrigerator waiting for these to come true. So let's get a little closer and check these puppies out. I think we're just about ready to harvest, and we're going to see how we're going to do that. Okay guys, here's the remaining Brussels sprout plants, and it looks like I've got 2 or 3 good meals of Brussels sprouts left or to eat. And as you can see, each plant has done pretty well, and they began to do a lot better. One of my subscribers advised me to go ahead and trim the branches off so that the nutrients and stuff could get into the plant and thereby mature the Brussels sprouts a lot quicker. And sure enough, as soon as I come out here and I cut the branches off, you can see all the extra laying in the bottom. All the plants started, all the Brussels sprouts started bulking up. And my understanding is that these things are supposed to be about an inch, an inch big before you go ahead and cut them. And it looks to me like these guys are for sure all getting right in about that inch category. So we're going to harvest these up, and I believe we're going to go ahead and roast them. And I think that's going to be a good thing. So let's take a closer look. All right, guys, here you go. Here's for comparison. I've got my little trusty serrated garden tool there, and you can see that it's about right. Most of the balls, especially this one, I would say this one's ready to come right off, so let's just give it a twister, and then we'll hold it up. There you go, a little bit over an inch. So if this one's a little bit over an inch, then these have got to be ready. Maybe not these down here, but for sure these ones in the middle are ready to go. And man, that actually looks good. I'd like to eat that. So I'm gonna take some of these off. I will tell you that these things were pretty easy to grow, and let's go ahead and flip the camera around. Okay, so there you have it. These guys were pretty easy to go. I got these at one of the big box stores. They were a boxed Bonnie's plant, and it did say in the directions, full sun for more than 6 hours, plant them 18 to 24 inches apart, which that really didn't happen. I mean, they're probably a good foot apart, but there were some other plants in the bed when it came time to grow them. And I guess I watered them about once a week, and I fertilized them with both fish emulsion and some liquid fertilizer, not Miracle Grow, but something like Miracle Grow, once or twice. So that was about it. Pretty low maintenance, pretty easy to do. I'm pretty satisfied with the amount that I got, and I think next fall, for preserving, what I would do would be to grow a few more, and then that way I could pickle them or freeze them. These are probably going to get roasted. That sounds pretty good to me, and I do like Brussels sprouts. So we'll see what happens. But how did your Brussels sprouts come out this year? If you had some good luck with Brussels sprouts, leave a comment. The only problem I could tell you that I had with them, period, was that fungus on the one plant that we looked at. And other than that, I highly recommend that you grow them. They're easy as long as you keep them watered, fertilized, and then do like the people said, which is trim back those lower branches. Man, I tell you, they keep putting out. So I believe how I'm going to harvest them is I'm just going to pick the ones that are an inch at this point, and then I will let the other ones get as big as an inch. And then I'll pick them too. And then when they're done, I'll just pull the plants out, and we're going to get this bed ready for squash and zucchini in the spring. So these guys, I would say probably have about 6 weeks left, and then the squash and zucchini have to go in. I'm going to start them inside. We're going to take a look at that video about what I'm starting for the spring here soon. This was just about Brussels sprouts. So I hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, and if you want to see some other plants, just let me know. I'm with anything. This is Carl, Cultivate with Carl, along with the Squirrel Patrol, who are getting failing grades on their performance reports because I keep finding their stuffed animals dug into my my empty flower beds, and I think they've cut a deal with the squirrels to be in the yard. So we're gonna have to work on that, make them a little bit more aggressive. So like I say every time, get yourself a hobby. Spring is coming. Get your beds ready. You should be thinking about starting all your plant starts now for the spring. If you don't have in-ground beds, get yourself a Lowe's bucket. As long as it's got a 2 on the recycle number, you can grow in it as long as it's food grade. And then just put yourself in some soil. Make sure you punch some holes in it, and then grow them on your balcony, man. You can do tomatoes. You can do just about anything. There's Rube up on the Squirrel Patrol. She's so cute. But yeah, everybody needs a hobby, man. So get a hobby, have a good time, and we'll see you next time on Cultivate with Carl.